Hello and welcome back to VHawks Podcast, where nobody wanted this Super Bowl, but yet here we are. And I don't think this is even a tough decision. Eagles all the way, even though I don't like the Eagles. To start off this week, we have a tweet from the refs that was about an hour before this recording that the Referees Association of the NFL says it is insulting and preposterous to suggest game officials collude to help Kansas City. We'll revisit this after the Super Bowl,
Okay, I think
and maybe we
you're
can make a compilation of this year's calls.
I think you're doing it a little bit. I don't know how you'd say it. Here's the quote I have. This is from the executive director of the NFL Referees Association, Scott Green. It is insulting and preposterous to hear conspiracy theories that somehow 17 officiating crews consisting of 138 officials are colluding to assist one team.
Yep.
It's almost like you don't need all 17 crews colluding at the same time. It's week by week, stupid.
Exactly. It's almost like a different ref crew can go call a Kansas or can go officiate a Kansas City game.
You don't have all 17 doing one. Like what are we talking about here?
Uh, we'll revisit this for sure.
But for some
But
interesting news that because we don't really have a reaction video this week or any other thing, just some interesting news before we go today. Um, you just had which one? Crud. You had Cooper Cup getting told that he will be traded, even though he
or
wants to
released.
stay on the Rams.
Or
What do you say?
released. I think released is actually more likely.
They said from the report it's right now a trade.
It's
Now,
trade or release.
could I
My
see it
report
being
said trade or
released because
release.
no team's going to trade when they know you want to get rid of the guy, so we're just not going to touch it.
Yep.
And you also had Miles Garrett requesting a trade out of Cleveland, but from what I've heard so far, Cleveland does not want to trade him, which they should just trade him for Justin Tucker because Browns type shit.
Yeah.
Um, you get a Chip Kelly offense and a Pete Carroll defense because that can't go wrong.
You have an unhappy Jared Goff that Brian Johnson's still in division, or Ben Johnson rather.
I think that was
I don't know what.
100%
Yeah.
just Detroit fans weren't happy that he was still in division, but
Yeah. Andy Reid confirmed he's staying next year as a Kansas City head coach.
and Travis Kelce has also said that he is not thinking of retiring yet.
Yep.
And Goodell on officiating or officials favoring the Chiefs. It's a ridiculous theory. I don't know.
Looking back to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, where this exact same matchup took place, and the call at the end was what decided the game. Just a thought. Harken back to when Taylor Swift first started dating Travis Kelce, and there was a game in Minnesota which Taylor Swift does not like, and there was a call that decided that game. Just a thought.
Wasn't for a Super Bowl though, but
No, I know, but the argument is that they help him all the time, which is true.
okay. But yeah, that's I guess we should probably like pick the actual game. My heart
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City's defense has been playing well, like week in and week out. So like, props to them. Um, when teams decide not to cover Travis Kelce, then he can go off. But overall, he's had a pretty meh season. Same with Mahomes, to be honest. Their run game's been pretty good. With Hunt filling in for Pacheco most of the year, and now with him back, they've got a good 1-2 punch. Um, their wide receiver room. Obviously, Worthy's getting better, and the Bills are regretting every single decision they've made.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's see. The offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs is just insane. And obviously great coaching on both sides of the ball. Moving over to Philadelphia,
I would
this is the
not
most
say. You mean for the Chiefs on both sides of the ball, or do you mean both teams?
the Chiefs on both sides of
Okay,
the ball.
that's. I was about
Yeah.
to say Sirianni's not a great coach, but that's just my opinion.
Well, Andy Reid and Spagnol and Spags, like great coaches for Kansas City.
Well, no, I agree
Anyway,
with that. I agree with that.
um, yeah. Moving on to Philadelphia, though. Speaking of the Eagles, I think Nick Sirianni's overhated. I think he's a good coach. I think that him and the owner have really decided to bring out the physicality in the team, and they have invested in the trenches year in and year out, despite other needs on the team. They've been able to address those other needs, or make them less obvious through the addition of pass rush and pass protection. And you can see it just in that team. They are arguably the most physical team in the league. Uh, and you have big dudes, and you've got a great running game with this team. You've got a defense that has the most takeaways, including playoffs. Um, you've got very opportunistic playmakers. You've got AJ Brown as one of the most physical receivers in the league. Uh, Jalen Hurts, dual threat when he wants to be, and one of the best QBs to ever do the QB sneak. So, I mean, you've got a pretty good matchup here. I mean, of course, Saquon Barkley is going to play on his birthday as well as Cooper DeJean, so maybe those guys will have a good game. But I'm pretty sure the fix is already in for Kansas City to win. However, we're just rooting for the Super Bowl logo. It's been the bottom of the logo most of the time, and and I see more green at the bottom than I do red. So, maybe there's a chance that the Eagles will actually be picked in terms of what team I think looks better, I think it's actually Philadelphia, despite the Chiefs' record and everything that they've done in the past few years. This season was not good for them.
Well, no,
Like,
because that's what we've been
they,
saying all season. Like the
yeah,
Chiefs had the best record in the league, but no way do they look like they were the most dominant team in the league. Like,
exactly. They've looked mediocre. They've won their games by the skin of their teeth or with help by the officials or both. Whereas Philadelphia's blown out opponents, sure they didn't know their first four games, they were like, okay, who are we? What are we going to do this year? And then boom, they win the rest of their games, except for one against the Commanders where they sat their starters. Um, so I mean, you've got a highly physical team who dominates on both sides of the ball, and they win convincingly, even if it's by one score. You know why the Eagles won the game. With Kansas City, it's just like, can this game be over yet? There's nothing going on. They almost got beat by the Panthers in the only like real game I've seen them play this year. Um, but so I would think based off of roster, especially depth, I would say Philadelphia would win this game, but the fix is in. That's my thought. But if on paper Philly should win this, score prediction 34-21 probably be my score prediction if everything's fair. Philly wins it with that score, but yeah, it'll be some bull crap like 18-15 that Chiefs will win. Some crap like that because it'll be a defensive battle. So,
I predict 24 to 23. Chiefs win off a last second field goal after Philly messes up on an extra point and has to do it again, and then the Chiefs block it on the
yeah.
drive before or at some point in the game. Um, in my heart, would I be happy if the Eagles won? Hell no. Would I feel better about them winning over the Chiefs? Hell yes.
Hmm.
But nobody can touch Lord Mahomo.
Correct. Yeah.
His pet zebras are already there, being fed, being trained. They will
That
scream at the
that
Eagles
one
all
down
game to
judge
not
that
touch
gave
him.
Josh Allen the first down is fired.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know that, but I think he's in
Oh
the
no,
basement.
he was sent to the Kansas City executioning box or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, he either got sent to the nice farm upstate with lots of room to run around, or he's in the basement telling it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Those are my two guesses.
Now he's in the Shark Tank for that one. Um, but yeah, it's going to be the Chiefs. We all know it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Pull
Yeah,
out your
both of us
out
have the
hopes.
Chiefs winning by a field goal if it is the Chiefs. So,
We all know what's going to happen. So
and
yeah.
it's going to be a bore. Actually, you know what? See, on paper, I predict 34 to 21, but the actual prediction, 9-6. That is my prediction. It's going to be more boring than the Patriots Rams Super Bowl from years back. Instead of 13-3, it's going to be 9-6.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. And you
Well,
know what? That's too kind. It's going to be 6-3.
it's going to be 3
Philadelphia.
nothing.
The Philadelphia gets optimistic because they blocked the extra point. Kansas City.
Nah, nah, Tyler. Here's what it's going to be. It's going to be 4-3.
Sure. Oh yeah, because there's a lot of false start procedural penalties on the Eagles when they're trying to get out of their own 1 yard line,
Yeah,
and so they get pushed back so far enough that the Chiefs are able to just get the safeties.
yeah,
That's a good point. It's going to be the reverse of the Washington Commanders on the Eagles.
yeah.
But anyway, the guy making the decision is wearing Chiefs colors, so naturally it's going to be the Chiefs. You predicted it well. I don't
All
even know
I'm
if you were
saying,
trying to do that, but it works.
all I'm saying is I'm rooting for the Meteor.
Yep. I won't even be watching it, you know. I'm just gonna chill.
Well, I guess I'll do it for this video. Hopefully, when we come back next Tuesday, the Chiefs will be crying.
Hopefully. And we'll finally be able to talk about something else and other teams. And best of all, the off season.
Yeah.
March, can we get here, please? Can we start opening negotiations so we have something else to talk about for all the teams? That'd be nice.
Well, we'll be back next week with our Super Bowl prediction, or Jesus, Super Bowl reaction and off-season predictions.
Yep.
Because why the hell not?
We're gonna keep it going. All
Peace.
right. Try not to suffer too much after the Super Bowl.